Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and I need to make this quick little video here today because Battlefield just did something hilarious. Everybody knows the game is coming out in a couple of weeks, everybody's excited about it, the pre-order numbers are insanely high, but in the midst of all of that, Activision is trying to promote Black Ops 7. We got a few new teasers, which I will be showing later in the video, and Call of Duty Next is of course happening in 2 days time, but let's go ahead and take a look at the new trailer that Battlefield just put out because they completely called Call of Duty out and made fun of the entire COD franchise. What we have here is a live-action trailer for Battlefield 6, and it's got some pretty famous people in it. We have Zac Efron as Assault, Jimmy Butler as Engineer, Morgan Wallen as Support, and Paddy Pimblett as Recon. This is very reminiscent of those old trailers that Call of Duty used to do, and then suddenly all of these celebrities just get blown up and completely forgotten.
We're here to do one thing. One thing.
Who was that?
Doesn't matter. Let's move.
That was absolutely hilarious, but what's even better is throughout the rest of the live-action trailer, they chose to use the exact same song that was used for the Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2 trailer from a couple of years ago, so it's pretty clear what Battlefield is doing here. They've already been calling out Activision for their use of Nicki Minaj and their other collaborations and everything, and now they are straight up mocking them in their trailers. It's so petty, and honestly, I just love it, because unlike what Activision is doing, the marketing right now for Battlefield is genius. They're really leaning into the whole Call of Duty downfall thing and using it to bolster their own pre-order sales as well as get new people into the Battlefield series. It's no secret that the beta for Battlefield 6 went over incredibly well, despite there being some issues like shotgun balance. Obviously that was a huge one, and the maps being pretty small, vehicles not being as big of a factor because of those tiny maps, things like that. But overall, the game has been doing incredibly well. I suppose the biggest question right now is, will the hype from the beta carry over into the full launch of the game on October 10th? If we look at pre-order numbers, sure, they look good, but the proof is always in the pudding. We have to wait for the actual game to come out, and the big question here also is, will Activision try to hurt the launch of Battlefield 6 by extending the Call of Duty beta? The Black Ops 7 beta is currently set for October 2nd through October 8th, which means it'll be ending on a Wednesday. If Activision extends the beta to Friday, it would be live during the launch of Battlefield 6, which would obviously cause such a stir amongst the player base. There are still some people out there who are just wholeheartedly loyal to Call of Duty, and there's also a bunch of people making the switch full-time from COD to Battlefield, and then there's everybody in between that kind of plan to play both games. Well, having the beta carry over into the Battlefield 6 launch would be an incredibly petty yet interesting move by Activision, and it does look like they plan to make some weird changes when it comes to the dates, because we have a bunch of now deleted tweets from various Activision ran accounts, things like Call of Duty UK, Call of Duty India, things like that, and they were making posts on Twitter today claiming that the beta is going to be starting on October 1st as compared to October 2nd. So if that being the case, again, the tweets are now deleted. It may have just been a mistake, but it happened across like 4 or 5 different social media channels. So it's possible one guy made 5 mistakes, or 5 different people made mistakes, or I suppose it's possible they accidentally leaked the big ending and the big surprise for Call of Duty Next. I can definitely see them at the end of the presentation being like, hey guys, surprise, the beta starts tomorrow, but that big surprise may have accidentally got leaked on Twitter. So we'll just have to wait and see how things play out. But speaking of Twitter, lots of major content creators are all out in Los Angeles right now getting ready for the event. They're talking to the Call of Duty developers and everything, so I imagine a bunch of information is going to come out between now and the actual event of Call of Duty Next on September 30th, though interestingly enough, Exclusive Ace was not able to make it to the event. He was all ready to go and everything, though unfortunately it looks like he got stopped at the border. Like, I know he's from Canada, right? So apparently the border agent did not understand what YouTube was, or like the nature of being a YouTuber or the work that he does, so he wasn't allowed into the country, which is really messed up if you think about it. Like, you guys know me, I'm not really fond of people cozying up to Activision, but ultimately what they do is their decision, right? And I always thought Ace was one of the good guys, so it really does suck that he got all this set up and everything, and then he was denied, because in the year 2025, some people just don't understand what YouTube is or how YouTube works. But to wrap the video up here today, guys, we got 2 new reveals for Black Ops 7, and I suppose in the interest of keeping up with the news, I'm going to play them for you here in this video.
There's a brand new mode called Overload. What is that?
It's a 6v6 objective mode. Each team will have 2 zones they need to protect. An overload device will spawn in the middle or in one of the 3 locations. Your goal is to secure the objective and carry it to one of the opposing team's zones to disrupt it.
This sounds like a very competitive mode.
Oh yes, it is very competitive. It requires a lot of team coordinations and strategies.
So Overload sounds like an expanded version of the Sabotage game mode from back in the day. And you guys are about to see some terrible YouTube quality, but you know what? This is what we had back when. This is what a lot of YouTube videos used to look like back in the day. But Sabotage was actually kind of an interesting game mode. If you're an OG, let me know down there in the comments if you remember Sabotage Quickies. Like, the game mode was set up in a way that if your team was way better than the other team, you could either spawn trap them all match, but they're on a respawn delay, so it's not really all that great, or you could just run up and try to win the match as fast as possible. Like, the length of the match would basically be how long the bomb timer was, plus like 10 seconds, because that's how quickly we would win, and it was interesting to see how big of a win streak we could go on. But when it comes to this Overload game mode, you're gonna have like multiple objectives and everything, and I've gotta be honest, it seems like a gimmick. Like, I'm trying to think of a newer Call of Duty game mode that has actually been good. They put out a couple new modes here or there, but I'm really drawing a blank as to the last good one to release, besides like maybe Drop Zone or Kill Confirmed. I mean, there was a time when Kill Confirmed was brand new. That was back in Modern Warfare 3, back in like 2011, and I can't think of any newer modes that actually stuck around. So let me know in the comments if you guys can think of one. But it seems like most of the newer modes, they just try out and they get played for like a month, and then suddenly they just like disappear, like Champions Hill back from Vanguard, for crying out loud. And I have to wonder, why do they even bother? Like, on the one hand, they want to have new things in the game so they can market it and sell it, obviously, right? But when it comes to the beta, why are we playing a new gimmick mode like Overload when Search and Destroy is once again being left out? Like, people want to play Search. It's arguably like the second or third most popular game mode in COD, so why is it never involved in the beta? It really doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But next up here, we have one more teaser, so let's go ahead and take a look at that next.
The big focus for us this year is weapon variety. Classic Black Ops 2 weapons returning. The Peacekeeper blurs the lines between AR and SMG. The M8A1 has its 4-round burst. We also have a new shotgun. It's called the M10 Breacher.
What can we expect post-launch?
Excited for the return of attachment rewards and weekly challenges, and they're gonna totally change the way you play with that weapon, sometimes in absolutely wild ways.
So here they're trying to hype up the weapons in the game as well as the return of weekly challenges, but again, I've got to be honest here, this is all just completely predetermined. We talked about this a lot during Black Ops 6, but you guys may have noticed that during Call of Duty's beta, there's always like 1 or 2 weapons that are completely busted, and then those same weapons still run rampant throughout the entire year, and also, just coincidentally, those weapons also receive like 30 or 40 different blueprints for people to buy. It happened with the Jackal here in Black Ops 6, it happened with the 74U back in Cold War, it happens pretty much every single year. They design a lot of these cosmetics and bundles ahead of time, and so if a gun is dog shit, those bundles aren't going to sell. So they design these things ahead of time, therefore that particular weapon has to be good the entire year through. They have found a way to monetize weapon balance here in the Call of Duty franchise, ladies and gentlemen, but of course, they are still bringing back those weekly challenges, which they could have just done with Black Ops 6, but hey, it goes back to it once again, they have to create problems so they can later sell us solutions. To go back to the beginning of the video, to go full circle here, that Battlefield trailer today was absolutely hilarious, and it's being thrown around right now a ton, but Battlefield absolutely dunked on Activision and the Call of Duty franchise. So I'm really interested to see if Activision is going to respond. Like, will they poke fun back in their own trailer, or maybe will they extend the Black Ops 7 beta into the launch of Battlefield 6? As of right now, we have no idea, but it's going to be a super interesting couple of weeks, so be sure to sub to the channel if you guys haven't already. But for right now, I'm going to wrap up this video here today. I do imagine that with everybody being out in LA and COD Next happening in 2 days, that a number of things are going to be leaked and posted tomorrow, so should that happen, I'll catch you guys with a brand new video. But until then, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video here today. Leave your thoughts and feedback on Black Ops 7 and Battlefield dunking on COD down there in the comments. Thank you all so much for listening, and until next time, I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.